in order to achieve the desired success? Krishna Prema. Hare Krishna devotees, I welcome you all on Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Please feel free to unmute yourself and announce your name and give me the opportunity to do the seva of welcoming you all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. This is Arvind Das from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arvindaksh Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhu. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for consistently joining Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call, Prabhuji. Please keep giving us your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devidasi from Chicago, Elgin.
Hare Krishna, Yashomati Mataji, Dandavat Pranam Mata, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Thank you so much for your association, Mataji. Thank you. Please keep joining Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the glories to the assembled devotees. This is Manjri Leela Devidasi from Naperville. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Manjri Leela Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. All glories indeed to the wonderful devotees that are joining here consistently here, Mataji. Thank you so much for your beautiful chanting, Mataji. Please keep giving us your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Balavinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Haribol Vrinda, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. All glories to your beautiful, consistent chanting and joining Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. God bless you and please keep joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Shamangari Devdasi from Charlotte.
Haribol Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru and Gauranga, all glories to your wonderful association and all the glorified works that you do, Mataji. Thank you so much for being the backbone and platform of Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call, Mataji. Please keep giving us your blessings. Haribol.
Hare Krishna Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devdasi from College Station, Texas.
Bol Vinita Mataji, my Dandavat Pranam Mata at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru and Gauranga, all glories to your wonderful chanting, consistent joining, and all your help and seva that you do, Mataji, tirelessly. What can we say? It's so wonderful. It's so inspirational. Please keep giving us your blessings. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Mataji. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Raleigh. Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol, Krishna Kumari Mataji, my humble obeisances, Mata at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to all the assembled devotees, Mataji, and all glories to your kind association and seva, Mataji, that you do. Thank you so much for joining Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call, Mataji. Please keep giving us your association. Hare Krishna. If there is nobody currently announcing their name, I will go ahead and read a brief description of our keynote speaker. Is none other than Mahabhagavat Prabhuji, who is going to be joining us, and I'm going to read a brief bio for him. His Grace Mahabhagavat Prabhuji, though born in Madhava Vaishnava family, was drawn to atheism in his adulthood. Interesting. While he started reading Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita as it is, and just to find faults in it, this book had a profound impact on his life and clarified a lot of his misunderstanding. He met his spiritual master, His Grace Sri Ram Shankar Chandas Adhikar in 2004, but it was only after several years of intense discourse and answers to over 600 questions He was initiated in 2011 at ISKCON, Austin, Texas, and then he received his second initiation in 2013 at ISKCON Kaunas in Lithuania. Today, he extensively preaches from all of Srila Prabhupada's books. His primary service are Sankirtan, book distribution, teaching, mentoring, cooking, and deity worship. He speaks English, Kannada, Marathi, Hindi, and Telugu, and has a basic understanding of Sanskrit and German. He pursued a PhD in machine learning and computational linguistics in Toronto. But this coincided with his increasing interest in bhakti and had to choose. One second. And had to choose between the umpteen research papers and the works of Srila Prabhupada. He currently works in the corporate world as a chief technology officer at an insurance company. How wonderful. We are going to be shortly having his association. I don't think Prabhuji has joined us yet. So, Mataji, Prabhuji, feel free to unmute yourself and announce your name, and I can welcome you until Prabhuji joins. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karna Devi Dasi from Elcon.
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Mataji, my humble obeisances at your lotus feet, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to all our Guru Maharajas, all glories to your wonderful, consistent services that you do every day, Mataji. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please keep giving us your blessings and association. Welcome.
All glories to Sri Guru and all the Vaishnavas. And thank you, Mataji, for your wonderful services.
Hare Krishna. Is there any other devotee who would like to announce their name so we can welcome you, announce your name, and thank you for your association?
Hare Krishna, Harina Mataji, Danvat Pranam to you and all the devotees. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to Assembled devotee. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam Mata, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for giving us your regular association, Mataji. Thank you for joining Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call, Mata. Please keep joining. Hare Krishna. We are still waiting for His Grace, Mahabhagavat Prabhu, to join. Until then, you can announce your name, or if there is nobody else to announce, we can continue chanting. So I'll wait for a minute or two more, and then we will go to chanting. Okay, since there is no devotee announcing their name, we will continue with that chanting. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We notice His Grace Mahabhagavat Prabhuji has joined. Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus
Please
feet.
accept mine. Panchakalpatarubhishya Kripasamudbhyam Shraddhanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namah. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Hari Bol Prabhuji. Thank you so much for giving us your kind association. We are so fortunate to have your association, Prabhuji.
I'm
All good.
fortunate to be here. Thank you for helping me be Krishna conscious. Hare Krishna.
You're such a wonderful devotee
Hare
and so
Krishna.
inspirational, Prabhu. All glories to Guru and Gauranga. Prabhuji, whenever you're ready, we will continue. We are currently in Canto A, in Chapter 7, and if you could kindly take up verses 40 to 42, whenever you're ready. Hari Bol.
Yes. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Vijanavallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopijanavallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajanarindana
Krishna
Yashodanandana
Krishna 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 Hare Rama
Brajajanarindana
Hare
Yashodanandana Brajajanarindana Yashodanandana Brajajanarindana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunda Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunda Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunda Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavindi ki jai. Hare Krishna. So I am speaking from Toronto, Canada, where the presiding deities are. Can you see? Okay, here. Presiding deities are Is Radha Kirchur Gopinath. I'm trying my best to get the blurring not to work on this here. This is better. Radha
Yes.
Kirchur Gopinath. I'm showing you, getting you darshan. One day maybe you can visit. They've been in Toronto for more than 50 years. And this Radhashtami we will be having a very grand festival. So if anybody is able to travel to Toronto, you're welcome to come to this Radha Kirchur Gopinath's special festival. We could not celebrate it in 2022 on the original installation date, 50 years of the original installation date because of COVID. But now you can come if you want to. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, the 8th canto, chapter number 7, verses 40 through 42. So this is a beautiful section of the Srimad Bhagavatam where Lord Shiva is speaking to his dear wife, Mother Sati or Mother Bhavani. पुंसा कृपयतो भद्रे सर्वात्मा प्रीयते हरिः प्रीते हरौ भगवती प्रियेऽहं सचराचरः तस्मादिदं गरं भुञ्जे प्रजानां स्वस्तिरस्तु मे पुंसा we'll read a couple more times. पुंसा कृपयतो भद्रे सर्वात्मा प्रीयते हरिः प्रीते हरौ भगवती प्रियेऽहं सचराचरः तस्मादिदं गरं भुञ्जे प्रजानां स्वस्तिरस्तु मे पुंसा कृपयतो भद्रे सर्वात्मा प्रीयते हरिः प्रीते हरौ भगवती प्रियेऽहं सचराचरः तस्मादिदं गरं भुञ्जे प्रजानां स्वस्तिरस्तु मे. Synonyms for this verse: Pumsaha, with a person; Kripayataha, engage in benevolent activities; Bhadre, O most gentle Bhavani; Sarva Atma, the super soul; Priyate, becomes pleased; Harihi, the supreme personality of Godhead; Prite, because of his pleasure; Harau, the supreme Lord Hari; Bhagavati, the personality of Godhead; Priye, also become pleased; Aham, I; Sacharacharaha, with all others moving and non-moving. Tasmat, therefore, idam, this garam, poison; bhunje, let me drink; prajanam, of the living entities; swasti, welfare; astu, let there be; me, by me. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. My dear gentle wife, Bhavani, when one performs benevolent activities for others, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, is very pleased. And when the Lord is pleased, I am also pleased, along with all other living creatures. Therefore, let me drink this poison, for all living entities, all the living entities may thus become happy because of me. My dear gentle wife Bhavani, when one performs benevolent activities for others, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari is very pleased. And when the Lord is pleased, I am also pleased, along with all other living creatures. Therefore, let me drink this poison, for all the living entities may thus become happy because of me. My dear gentle wife Bhavani, this is a very important verse, which is I am reading it multiple times. My dear gentle wife Bhavani, when one performs benevolent activities for others, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, is very pleased. And when the Lord is pleased, I am also pleased, along with all other living creatures. Therefore, let me drink this poison, for all the living entities may thus become happy because of me. Okay, next one. Shri Shukavacha evam amantre bhagavan bhavanim vishwabhavanah तद्विषम जगधुमारेभे प्रभाव ज्ञानवमोदता. Shri Shuka Uvacha, Shri Shukadeva Goswami said, Evam, in this way, Amantra, addressing Bhagavan, Lord Shiva, Bhavani, Vishwabhavanaha, the well-wisher of all the universe, Tat Visham, that poison, Jagdhum, to drink, Arebhe, began, Prabhavadnya, Mother Bhavani, who perfectly knew the capability of Lord Shiva, Anvamodata, gave her permission. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Sukadev Goswami continued, after informing Bhavani in this way, Lord Shiva began to drink the poison, and Bhavani, who knew perfectly well the capabilities of Lord Shiva, gave him her permission to do so. We'll read the translation once more. Srila Sukadev Goswami continued, after informing Bhavani in this way, Lord Shiva began to drink the poison, and Bhavani, who knew perfectly well the capabilities of Lord Shiva, gave him her permission to do so. Verse number 42, for which there is a purport. So we'll be pausing here after this verse. ततः करतलीकृत्य व्यापी हालहलं विषम् अभक्षयन् महादेवः कृपया भूतभावनः ततः करतलीकृत्या व्यापी हालाहलं विषम् अभक्षयन् महादेवः कृपया भूतभावनः ततः करतलीकृत्य व्यापी हालाहलं विषम् अभक्षयन् महादेवः कृपया भूतभावनः. Synonyms. Tataha, thereafter. Karatilikritya, taking his hands. Vyapi, widespread. Halahalam, called halahala. Visham, poison. Abhakshayat, drank. Mahadevaha, Lord Shiva. Kripaya, out of compassion. Bhutavavanaha, for the welfare of all living entities. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Thereafter, Lord Shiva, who is dedicated to auspicious, benevolent work for humanity, compassionately took the whole quantity of poison in his palm and drank it. Thereafter, Lord Shiva, who is dedicated to auspicious, benevolent work for humanity, compassionately took the whole quantity of poison in his palm and drank it. Thereafter, Lord Shiva, who is dedicated to auspicious, benevolent work for humanity, compassionately took the whole quantity of poison in his palm and drank it. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Although there was such a great quantity of poison that it spread all over the universe, Lord Shiva had such great power that he reduced the poison to a small quantity so he could hold it in his palm. One should not try to imitate Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva can do whatever he likes, but those who try to imitate Lord Shiva by smoking ganja and other poisonous things will certainly be killed because of such activities. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances at the lotus feet of my spiritual master. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Dalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha. हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते जयतां सुरतौ पंगोर्मम मंदमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदाम्बौजौ राधा मदन मोहनौ दिव्यद्वृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमादः श्रीमद्रत्नागार सिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद्राधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेवौ प्रेष्ठालिभिः सेव्यमानौ स्मरामि श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भि वंशीवटतटस्थितः कर्षन्वेणुस्वनैर्गोपीर्गोपीनाथ श्रीयस्तुनः तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी शुभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So I'm begging blessings from everybody present here and everybody who might watch this class that something of value can be said here. Srila Prabhupada has translated these verses very beautifully. These three verses are very pivotal verses. Before we get into the specifics of these three verses, we just take a quick look at the context in case some of you have not followed the previous classes or read this section of the Bhagavatam before, very quickly. Okay. So what has happened is, because the demigods headed by Lord Indra have been cursed by a sage, Agastya Muni, they have lost all their opulence, and the demons have defeated them, and the demigods have been relegated to being very fearful for their lives. So, being very distressed, they have approached Lord Brahma, who has gone and prayed to Lord Vishnu at the Kshirosagar, at the ocean of milk, where the Kshirodakshaya Vishnu lies. And the Lord has not appeared before them, but he has answered through the heart of Lord Brahma that this is the plan. He appeared in front of the Lord, front of the demigods, and then he stated this plan, saying that you should make a truce with the demons, and here's the plan. This is what you should do, and he told them everything. So the demigods went into the court of Maharaj Bali, the king of the demons. He's a Mahabhagavat, but he's acting as the king of demons right now. And they made a truce. Everybody was ready to attack them, but all his commanders and other soldiers of the demons ready to attack them, but Maharaj Bali restrained them and heard them out. And they decided to do this. So they went, they procured the Vasuki snake. They went and got the Mandara mountain, and they could not carry it. It was so heavy. Even the demigods and the demons together, millions and millions of them together, could not carry the Mandar mountain. So Shri Hari helped them, came on the and lifted the Mandar mountain and put it on the back of Garuda and came, put it in the right place where it was. The ocean was supposed to be churned. The milk ocean was supposed to be churned. And then they started to churn it, but because their churning rod, the Mandar mountain, was so heavy, it sank into the ocean, and they were very depressed. And then the Lord appeared in his Kurma avatar. Shitiriya Vipulatare Tishtari Tava Prishte Dharani Dharanakina Chakradarigarishte Keshavadhrita Kurma Sharira Jaya Jagadishare appeared in his tortoise form, in a massive scale. 800,000 miles in diameter was his back, and the Mandar mountain was placed on top of his back, and the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Kurma, was holding the Mandar mountain on his back, and the Mandar mountain was turning like this as they were churning. You can see how strong the Supreme Personality of Godhead is. He was holding the entire Mandar mountain on his back, whereas the demigods and the demons could not hold the churning rod up in the ocean by themselves. Okay, and then they could not. The poison came out of Vasuki's mouth because he was, his mode of ignorance was agitated. Poison came out his mouth. The demons were really badly hurt. The demigods also were hurt. So finally, Lord Ajita himself came and held both sides of the rope and started churning it, and then the demons and the demigods joined in again. And the first thing that started, and I'm sure you have explored this before, is that halahal, the halahala poison, which is the most deadly poison, came out of the milk ocean, and this was destroying the whole universe. The poison was so dangerous. The reaction created by the herbs that had been put into the milk ocean, along with the churning, first created this very dangerous poison. And the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, approach Lord Sadashiva. He will help you on this particular one. And then there are some prayers in the Bhagavatam, in the preceding verses, to Lord Shiva. And those prayers are actually, can be quite confusing to someone who does not read the purports by Srila Prabhupada. But even if you don't read the purports, this particular verse, okay, I want to please highlight your attention to verse number 40, 8740. Please, if you can show that on the screen, we want to read the translation once more of that verse. Okay, because if all the prayers of the demigods confuse us, then the statements of Lord Shiva should eradicate our confusion. Okay, my dear gentle wife Bhavani, when one performs benevolent activities for others, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari is very pleased. And when the Lord is pleased, I am also pleased along with all other living creatures. Therefore, let me drink this poison for all the living entities, may thus become happy because of me. So he has been prayed to by all the demigods in a very, very beautiful language. And it is true, technically all of those things are true, but Lord Shiva himself, when he speaks, he's making it clear that I am doing this for the pleasure of Lord Hari. Because when Hari is pleased, then I am pleased, along with all the other living entities. So he is wanting to drink this poison and he clears that first misunderstanding that maybe Lord Shiva is the supreme by his own statement. So this is very important realization. Another thing I wanted to mention, I have a few points collected for all of us today in the class, about 10 points totally, and I will speak about each of those and then summarize. So the Bhagavatam teaches us everything that we need to know. Srila Prabhupada said that repeatedly, that everything that you need to understand about our life, about our world, about the transcendence, etc., is in the Bhagavatam. That's why the Bhagavatam is called the Mahapuran, because it has all 10 topics covered in great detail, but it needs a little bit of reflection and a little bit of churning to bring out those points. So one of the things that Lord Shiva is instructing us is that pleasing Sri Krishna, pleasing Sri Hari, is the goal of all our activities. If any of our activities, whether it is driving to work or whether it is buying groceries or whatever it is that we do in this world, whether it is cleaning our bodies, whatever it is that we do, whether it is decorating ourselves so that we look presentable in public, whatever it is that we do, if we are not doing it for the pleasure of Sri Krishna, that's a complete waste of time. Okay, so in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, there is a famous verse uh, that the second line of that verse is very very important. It's 1846. Swakarmana tamabhyarcha siddhim vindati manama. So this is an important verse. If we can show it, everybody can read the entire verse together and maybe even commit it to our memory. Yatha pravrittir bhutanam. It starts with Yatha pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam. Swakarmana tamabhyarcha siddhim vindati manama. By worship of the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all pervading, a man can attain perfection through performing his own work. So, our own work means starting with maintaining this body, our families, working in society, all of these things are meant to be done for the pleasure of Sri Krishna. So, this is an important point that Lord Shiva is making. Okay. So, another thing that is important, the next point from the verse number 40 is that Lord Shiva decided to drink that poison not for his own pleasure, not because he has any attraction to poison or intoxication or anything like that, but because he wants to glorify Sri Krishna and to save all the living entities so that he can continue their Krishna consciousness. That is the purpose. So Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati, or in this case Mother Sati right now, Bhavani, uh, they are the best well-wishers, the father and mother of the spirit of our material world, and they act as good cop, bad cop. Lord Shiva acts as a good cop, and Mother Bhavani acts as a bad cop. So they are trying to push us towards our original eternal identity and eternal nature, which is to be purely Krishna conscious, which we have forgotten right now. So he is not doing this for his own pleasure, and he is doing this because he is saying what a gentleman or a lady should do, right? This verse will come, and it's a very nectarian verse. It's 8744, right in this chapter, couple of verses. So probably day after tomorrow, some fortunate soul will speak about it, and other fortunate souls will hear it. 8744. Tapyante loka tapena. And this is a very, very important. If you look at the word, like let's look at the verse also. Tapyante loka tapena sadhava prayashojana Paramaradhanam tadhi purushatsakhilatmanah. So if you look at the translation here, and we won't go in detail because the devotee is going to speak about this verse, it is said that great personalities almost always accept voluntary suffering because of the suffering of the people in general. This is considered the highest method of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is present in everyone's heart. This is not Lord Shiva speaking, this is Shukadeva Goswami speaking. So he's telling us something very, very important. So you can go back to that verse 40 and think about it and say, okay, Lord Shiva is drinking the halahal poison for saving all of the living entities in the universe and to please Sri Krishna. So generally it says Mahajana Yena Gatasa Pantha, so we are meant to follow the supreme, the great leaders, such as Lord Shiva. So what is it that we are supposed to take from here? What kind of poison are we supposed to drink, right? The answer to this is stated by Srila Prabhupada many, 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 many times. As devotees, we are meant to remove the poison of materialism from the world. So devotees, what do? We yatharham upayunjate. So if you look at the verse from the Nectar of Instruction, Rupa Goswami says, अनासक्तस्य विषयान् यथारम उपयुञ्जतः निर्बन्धे कृष्ण संबंधी युक्तम वैराग्यम उच्यते. So Sri Krishna is meant to be served anasaktasya vishayan, without taking any of those things for ourselves. Anasaktasya vishayan. So this poison is vishaya. Yeah, visha, visha and vishaya, they are related. Poison is being taken by Lord Shiva. Anasaktasya vishayan. Yatharam upayunjata. How can I use this poison for the service of Krishna? Lord Shiva is thinking. I can expand his glories by drinking it for his pleasure and holding it in my throat. That's why he's called Nilakantha. He has a line blue line in his throat where he's holding the poison, where it doesn't go down and cause any other uh, things. Of course, Lord Shiva is invincible in that way. So we cannot do those things, but what can we do? We can take away the poison from the material world. So what are we doing in the International Society for Krishna Consciousness? We are going out there, we are collecting donations from people, right? You have many of you must have given Janmashtami donations. You may have, many of you may have collected Janmashtami donations. We soon, the Bhadra Purniya will come, will urge devotees to sponsor sets of Srimad Bhagavatam. So from many people, including devotees and other who were not yet devotees but on their way to becoming devotees, we are taking away their money. We are taking some money from them. We are taking that money and we are using it in the service of Krishna. So that is what we are meant to take. We are meant to take away the poison of materialism by, instead of distributing regular food, we distribute Krishna conscious food, which is Krishna prasadam. Instead of propagating regular music, we propagate beautiful kirtan. You have seen our kirtans, ISKCON kirtans are the best in the world. So we have kirtans to suit every taste. You can have rap kirtan, you can have rock kirtan, you can have modern classical kirtan, you can traditional kirtan, South Indian style, Bengali style, North Indian style, Gujarati style, you name it. We can do kirtan in any way. So instead of propagating the poison of materialism through music or through literature or through food and through social activities, etc., we are propagating Krishna consciousness. And we are taking the resources of society, taking that poison, and we are giving them back nectar. So that is the poison of the material world that we are taking away. So in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, this famous instruction by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, recorded and immortalized by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, we should take that instruction and tie it around our necks. Jare dekho tare kaho. It's from the Madhya Lila 7:128 Mataji, so that everybody can also read and can read the translation of that verse also. Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna Upadesh. Hamar आज्ञा hai Guru haya tara ei desh. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 7:128. That is the verse from this. So in that verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is exhorting all of us. We don't have to do anything special. We don't have to do anything great. We just have to instruct everyone to follow the orders of Lord Krishna as they are given in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. And in this way, become a spiritual master and try to liberate everyone in this land. Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, Lord Shiva is the supreme spiritual master. So he's one of the great Mahajans. He's a supreme spiritual master. He even has his own Sampradaya, the Rudra Sampradaya. So we are supposed to try to do that. Now, how can we do that? I'm not any great spiritual master. I cannot, purify. Like there are great spiritual master within the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. I'm not anywhere among them. How can I do it? Just instruct everyone to follow the orders of Lord Sri Krishna as they are given in the Bhagavad Gita. So that's what we are trying to do. We are not trying to invent something of our own or have some of our own realizations to share. We're simply sharing whatever Sri Krishna is giving us. Okay. So that poison we are meant to remove. Okay. So far we have covered 5 of the 10 points that I had explained. Okay. So now we are going to move to the next verse number 41. Okay. So let's look at that. Look at that verse very carefully. Actually, we can look at both 40 and 41 together. And I told you in the beginning that Srila Prabhupada said that we can learn everything from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Everything. Including in this particular case, we are witnessing the beautiful relationship between the perfect husband and the perfect wife in the material world. That's what we are witnessing here. Okay, so if we look at these verses, okay, so first of all, Lord Shiva is saying, my dear gentle wife Bhavani. So if you go up to the, I need the Sanskrit of the verse number 40 also. So I need the Sanskrit of verse. So if you say, Pumsa kripayato bhadre, he's saying bhadre. Oh, most gentle Bhavani. Bhadra means auspicious. Bhadra means gentle. Bhadra means, so you look at what sweet words Lord Shiva is using to address his wife. Hardly anybody addresses their wife in such a loving way. I'm guilty of that myself. So first of all, you see how Lord Shiva is behaving with his wife. Pumsa kripayato bhadre sarvatma priyato hari. He's saying, Prite haro bhagavati. He's saying, so he's saying this in different ways. So he's speaking to her very gently and lovingly because he knows that what I'm about to do can be a little bit stressful for my wife. To see a husband drinking poison is one of the most unnerving things for a wife. Everybody should understand that. Men should especially understand that when I do something that is harming myself, my wife is going to get super agitated. She's going to get upset. She's going to get angry. She's going to get sad. She's going to cry. So many things are going to happen to her. So he's explaining to her, huh? Tumsa kripayato bhadre, sarvatma priyate hari. So I'm doing this. And then, so first of all, before he starts doing this, the main thing that we can take away in terms of relationships, people go to relationship seminars and all that, not based on the Shastra, but actually here is a relationship seminar based on the Shastra. Okay. And that is communicate whatever it is that you are doing clearly, sir, to your wife. Whatever that you want to do, communicate clearly. Don't say one thing, do another thing. Men are super guilty of this kind of thing because they say one thing and they do another thing. And then the wife is like, she has one expectation set, and then the husband done something else. She's confused. And then the husband is like, why don't you understand me? Well, sir, you did not communicate clearly what you intended to do. And if you change your mind, you should have indicated your change of mind to your wife. Okay, of course, Lord Shiva is not imperfect like us, but he's setting an example of clear communication and using very loving words. He's not being harsh at all, or he's not ignoring his wife. He's not doing these kinds of things. And on the other hand, mirroring Lord Shiva, Bhavani Devi, she is very supportive of her husband. She's very encouraging. In Bhavani's case, one can argue that it's very easy to be supportive because Lord Shiva is all powerful, especially Lord Sadashiva he's Krishna, he's Sri Hari, in touch with the material energy, in touch with Bhavani, right? Even though Lord Shiva is all powerful, though, he still sought permission and approval from his wife. How many men do that, to seek permission and approval before doing something? They just do something and then expect the wife to just go along with it. I'm guilty of these things too. So I'm not saying this as a blame for other men. I'm saying this for my own purification. Okay. So Mother Devaki, a disciple of Niranjan Swami Maharaj, who is a great speaker on relationships and marriage, especially, and so on. I recommend all young people to read her books to understand how a harmonious marriage relationship should work. I recommend it highly, according to Vedic culture. So Mother Devaki's books state that a man actually has a need for female energy. So many years ago, when we were speaking with His Holiness Devamrita Swami Maharaj here in Toronto, and we were speaking about something, as is usual, sometimes grihasthas ask grihastha questions to a sannyasi, but in some cases, sannyasi is very expert, and they say, so he was telling the husband that he was reassuring the wife that he told the husband, did you want to get married or not? And the husband said, yes, wanted to get married. So he said, you wanted to get married because you wanted the kind of energy that a female partner will provide to you, right? So this is why you got married. And he assured the wife, and he said to her, he married you because he needed you. So in this way, a man has a need for that female energy, that approval, that support, that appreciation. It's a need, it's the conditioning of a male body that they need that kind of energy. When such energy or approval or support and encouragement and praise and those kinds of things don't come from the man's wife, then he will go and seek it somewhere else outside. This is a very dangerous thing. For a man to realize that I need this kind of thing, where am I getting this from? This is very important. If somehow or the other it's not coming from my wife, I definitely not meant to get it from, in a illicit way from any other person. This is very important. So husband needs that encouragement from the wife, and the wife needs an assurance and actions for her protection. So Lord Shiva is saying, I'm going to drink this, and he has already demonstrated his power by taking the whole ocean of halahal into his palm of his hands. In one little palm of his hands, he has already condensed it. So he's already shown his power to Mother Bhavani. So she's not worried because she knows his power. But the reason he's seeking approval for his actions is because a wife needs assurance for an action for protection. of herself. It's important. Emotional protection, physical protection, mental protection, spiritual protection. These are very important for a husband to deliver to his wife in a way that the wife can accept. So when this thing is there, when all of these things work properly, beautiful, loving communication that is clear, not just loving words, but clear, loving communication from both sides, especially the husband side, because in general, women are better communicators, especially in relationships. Uh, and um, when the husband is very careful to assure the wife that, okay, whatever it is that I want to do is not going to hurt you, not going to harm you, you'll be all right, and so on. And then when the wife is providing encouragement and support and loving, that loving energy, that gaze, to the husband, then he feels very encouraged and powerful. Such a man can do anything. The ISKCON Grahasthas are powerful because of the support of their wives. It's not just them; it's the support of their wives. So they have the double energy, the double Shakti, themselves and their wives as well. So when that is there, then there is harmony. Mm. So uh, Bhavani Devi is not panicking. Oh my God, my husband is drinking poison. What will happen to me? She's not thinking like that. She knows about Lord Shiva, and this is not the first instance where Lord Shiva has interacted with his wife Sati. He has interacted many times in the past like this. Okay, so this is a brief thing about uh, the verse 41, right? And now we are going to move to today's verse, which is 42, right? First of all, we already discussed this. We looked at the verse number 42. Let's go to the translation of that verse, please. We saw that Lord Shiva, what has he done? He has taken the entire ocean of poison that was submerging the whole universe and killing all the living entities, and he has put it into the palm of his hand. So he has already shown his mystic potency. He drank it all and he suspended it in the throat. Srila Prabhupada is saying in the purport that Lord Shiva can do whatever he likes. Lord Shiva can do whatever he likes because he's powerful enough to do that. So there are some great powerful personalities, even in human society, who can do whatever they like. They can sleep for 3 hours. Like, Gopal Krishna Maharaj, Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, so many of our Guru Maharajas, they can sleep for 3 hours. They can land from a plane at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. and then be there for Mangalarti and do their entire program and have 19 meetings for the rest of the day before they fly off to the next destination. Right? They can do those things, but not everybody can do. So we have to be careful and know what is the extent of our capacity. I said that we are supposed to take away the poison of materialism. We are supposed to help preach to others, etc., etc., give Krishna consciousness to others. We should do that according to our capacity, not according to the capacity of somebody else, right? So Lord Shiva has unlimited capacity to do such things. We don't. So we cannot do such things. We cannot go to a mundane material meeting and participate in the social drinking that goes on there and try to preach Krishna consciousness. We cannot do such things, right? We cannot. So there are two words, right? Uh, in the Sanskrit language. So there is a word known as anusaranam, which means anusaranam, to follow in the footsteps of. And then there's anukaranam, which means to imitate the actions of somebody. So in bhakti, when we say Mahajana Yenogata Sopantha, we are actually saying do anusaranam. Follow in the footsteps of, understand what you need to understand from his actions. Don't imitate his actions don't imitate his actions in an immature way. So that is important. So we are supposed to be uh, follow in the footsteps and understand the principles of why they are doing something. Therefore, context is required. Therefore, guru is required. Therefore, guru shastra sadhu. In fact, this principle of how we are meant to follow in the process of bhakti is mentioned in the Mahabharata. So it's in the Mahabharata, and it's also been quoted in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in the Madhya Lila 17:186. Please pull up that verse, Mataji, 17:186. So this is a very important verse for us to understand how to prosecute Krishna consciousness, how to pursue Krishna consciousness. So it says, Tarko apratishtaha Sitayo Vibhinna. So if you look at the various Shruti or the Smriti scriptures, You'll see Tarko Apradishta Shrutayo Vibhinna Nasa Vrishiryasya Matam Na Bhinna. If you look at different teachers around the world, there are no two teachers who have the exact same opinion. Even in ISKCON, some gurus will have difference in details. Yeah, this is how you should do this. This is how you should do this. And somebody will say this is how Prabhupada said it, and somebody will say this is a practical way of doing it. So we should not get confused by that. Tarko apratishta shrutayo vivinna, not get confused by the different instructions and different scriptures. Nasa vrisharyatamatam na bhinnam. Don't worry about the different details of the instructions. Dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam mahajano yena gatah sapantha. You know somebody who has made it to pure devotional service, follow that person and follow. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying in this instruction, he's saying, please, we can look at the translation of this verse. Hare Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, dry arguments are inconclusive. A great personality whose opinion does not differ from others is not considered a great sage. Simply by studying the Vedas, which are variegated, one cannot come to the right path by which religious principles are understood. The solid truth of religious principles is hidden in the heart of the unadulterated, self-realized person. So find a pure devotee. Consequently, as the Shastras confirm, one should accept whatever progressive path the Mahajanas advocate. Right? So sometimes Srila Prabhupada did something different from the previous acharyas in the details. Sometimes our spiritual masters might do something different from Srila Prabhupada. Sometimes, when it's time later on, 50 years from now, some other devotees might do something different from how it was done 100 years ago, for example. Right? So we have to be careful about that we are following the principles and understanding everything according to the context. So we have covered 8 of the 10 points that I had in mind now. So I have just the last 2 points left to conclude this class. Okay. So I'm going to say a few things. So what is the conclusion? Okay. The conclusion is for us to spread Krishna consciousness, because that is the essence of what Lord Shiva is doing here. He's taking away the burden, he's taking away the poison. Lord Jesus Christ did the same thing. Come ye all weary, come with me with all your worldly problems, leave your worldly problems with me, take Krishna consciousness. That's what Lord Jesus Christ is saying also. Right? So it's a famous verse, by a great saint 500 years ago, 1400 something, in Gujarat. His name is Narsingh Mehta. Very, very famous devotee, very, very beautiful devotee, and he's written a particular bhajan. It's not in our sampradaya, but the essence of that is very similar to today's verse. Okay, so you may have heard it also. Vaishnava jana to tene kahiye je pीड़ पराई जाने रे पर दुख उपकार करे जो मन अभिमान न Oh, mere aane re. So if you look at this, what it means is Vaishnava Janato Tene Kahiye Je. So a person who is called a Vaishnava is that person who understands the pains of others. Vaishnava Janato Tene Kahiye Je, Peed Parai Jane Re, Paradukha Upakara Kare Jo. When a person is in sorrow, they do upakar. That means they do a favor. They offer their mercy to others. Parudupakara krejo, mana abhimanana aanere. So if you look at the verse number 40, okay, of today's verse, this is actually what Lord Shiva is doing. He is doing upakar, paradukha upakar. He is understanding that the living entities are in great pain. So if you go back to the translation of the verse number 40 and look at that again carefully, in the verse number 40, Lord Shiva is explaining that everybody is suffering. It's the duty of every person to mitigate the sufferings of the others, because the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Hari, is pleased. When he is pleased, I am pleased. That means his pleasure is my pleasure. So, in other words, we don't have to worship Lord Shiva separately. If you please Krishna, Sri Lord Shiva is automatically pleased along with all the other living creatures. Therefore, let me drink this poison for all the other living entities. Thus become happy because of me. Paradu upakara kare jo mana abhimanana aanere. So, when the Lord is pleased, he's saying, I'm doing this to please the Lord. And this is very instructive because Lord Shiva is the topmost Vaishnava. It is stated in the Bhagavatam. It's stated in the Bhagavatam, that 12th canto verse, Mataji, 12, 13, 16. Please pull that one up. Nimna Ganam Yatha Ganga. Nimna Ganam Yatha Ganga. Devanam Achyuto Yatha. Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. Purananam Idam Yatha. This is in the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 12, 13, 16. Just as the Ganga is the greatest of all rivers, Lord Achyuta, supreme among all deities. Lord Shambhu, Shiva, the greatest of Vaishnavas. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the greatest of all Puranas. So Vaishnava Janato tene kahi hai je, bhid parai jane re, par dukha upakar kare jo, mana abhiman na aane re. So this is the definition of Vaishnava. And Lord Shambhu, Lord Shiva is the greatest of all Vaishnavas. And he's showing us this. Okay. So, in a very specific way, in today's context, right now, right, the Bhadra Purnima is coming. It's not, it's very couple weeks away, right? Not very far away. So, since we are all deriving so much nectar from this Srimad Bhagavatam, you can see in this very short class, just 3 verses of the thousands of verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, we have derived so much beautiful instruction from it. And it's our attempt to try and follow this instruction. And the attempt will be successful someday, even if I'm not perfect today. Someday it will be successful. So let us help others also to get this. So one practical thing that each of us can do all over the world, wherever we are, we may be from different parts of the world, different parts of the different countries. Okay, please do your best to take it as your mission to distribute the Srimad Bhagavatam to everybody with great love, with great force, with even sometimes aggression is required to do good to somebody, as long as it's a loving aggression. Don't threaten somebody with a weapon or something. So as long as you do it, because for a Vaishnava, if you think about it, why is it that a Vaishnava has the capacity to do Paradukha Svikar? How does he Paradukha Dukhi? How does Vaishnava manage to do that? Because actually Vaishnava has no dukh of his own. He has only happiness. He has only joy. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj says, it's a very, we have just covered that in one of your previous classes, I'm sure. So, Prahlad Maharaj's verse is, Naivo Dvije, Naivo Dvije Paraduratya Yavaitaranya. Tat Twadvirya Gayana Mahamritamagna Chittaha. So this verse is on the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's on the 9th chapter of the Srimad 7th canto Srimad Bhagavatam. I think verse number 43, Mataji. Okay. Shoche tato vimukha Chetasa indriyartha maya sukhaya bharamudvahato vimudhan. If you look at the translation of this verse, right? So if you look at this translation here, please, if you can scroll down to look at the translation, you see that, oh, best of great personalities, I am not at all afraid of material existence. Vaishnava is not afraid of material existence. For wherever I stay, I am fully absorbed in in the thoughts of your glories and activities. My concern is only for the fools and rascals who are making elaborate plans for material happiness and maintaining their families, societies, and countries. I am simply concerned with love for them. So this is the purpose of the Krishna consciousness movement. We are meant to channel this energy of both Lord Shiva and Prahlad Maharaj, our Mahajans. So we are to Srila Prabhupada is a Mahajan. We are meant to follow in their footsteps by having concern for those who are making elaborate plans for material happiness. When you go to the park and you see poor fools cremating dead bodies of animals to eat, you should feel great compassion for them and try to understand how is it that I can give them Krishna consciousness. Maybe you can give them, start with a Krishna conscious cookie. Maybe that's all. Maybe they are not going to give up eating meat like that today. Maybe they are not going to give up drinking alcohol today. But we have to figure out, each of you, each of us has a responsibility to figure it out, because the person that Vamshi is meeting, or the person that Mother Nina is meeting, the person that Indulekha Karuna Mataji is meeting, each of us is not meeting that person. We are the only devotee in their lives in many cases, right? If you are in a supermarket, you're the only devotee there. It's your responsibility to carry this feeling of love for all the living entities, because it is pleasing to Sri Hari. Not because I'm or anybody is trying to call themselves a great devotee or whatever, but because this feeling is very, very dear to Sri Hari. Okay, so I'll conclude with that. I'll just do a quick recap of the 10 points, okay, in very short, but not in the story form, right? We did a we did a whole quick summary of the previous of the context of this verse, where this verse is coming, where we are right now. We examined how we can learn so many things from the Srimad Bhagavatam, very deep things. We have learned that pleasing Lord Shri Krishna is the goal of all of our activities. We have seen that Lord Srila Prabhupada is saying in the purport that we should not imitate Lord Shiva, but Lord Shiva decided to drink this poison to please Sri Hari, not for his own pleasure, but for glorification of Sri Hari, right? We examined what sort of poison we are supposed to drink or take away from this world, and that is the poison of materialism. And there are many practical ways of doing this, as we have seen, right? We then looked at that was point number 5. We looked at how there's a perfect ideal relationship between Lord Shiva and Sati Devi. We can examine that very carefully. We examined that in a little bit of detail. We looked at the mystic potency of Lord Shiva that enables him to do these extraordinary activities that we don't have. Some of us may have a little bit more, some of us may have a little bit less, but we definitely don't have the mystical potency of Lord Shiva to be able to drink an ocean of halahal poison, right? So we are not meant to imitate him. We're not meant. So this is the next point, point number 8, which is that we are not meant to imitate Lord Shiva. Anusaranam. We are not meant to imitate Lord Shiva. Anukaranam. We are meant to follow in his footsteps by following the principles of what he did. Anusaranam, like follow in his footsteps, follow his instructions. We looked at the conclusion to spread Krishna consciousness, and spreading Krishna consciousness is the best way to take away the pains of all the living entities. And Lord Shiva is the topmost Vaishnava, Vaishnava Shambhu, and therefore he's acting in a very ideal way to teach us how we are meant to be acting in this world. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Now, if there are any questions, comments, concerns, or reflections or corrections, please deliver them and I'll be happy to accept all of them. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, my humble obeisances at
Hare
your
Krishna.
lotus feet. What a wonderful class. So practical, so many practical tips, Prabhuji. And this is the best part of Srimad Bhagavatam. We can apply it in our day-to-day lives if we are mindful and really turn things around, everything with the Yukta Vairagya for Lord Hari's pleasure. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for sharing such wonderful tips. Devotees, do you have any questions, realizations that you might want to share? While we are waiting for devotees' question, I had one question. So, this halal vrish pratha that was done by Lord Shiva, of course, he's the best of the best Vaishnava, no question about it. So he's continuously doing it in every universe.
Yeah, he's so Lord Sadashiva is Shambhu. So in the Kshiram Yatha Divikara Vishesha Yoga Sanjayate Nahi Tata Pritagasti Hetu. So yeah, Shambhutam Avitatha. So that verse from the Brahma Samhita tells us that Lord Shambhu is the glance of Mahavishnu. So as the glance of Mahavishnu, Lord Sadashiva actually lives outside of all the universe. Right? So unlike Rudra, who lives inside the universe and is born as a son of Lord Brahma, Lord Rudra is an expansion of Lord Sadashiva through Lord Brahma. But Lord Sadashiva lives outside of all the universes, lives with Mahavishnu practically. So his activities can be manifested in all the universes because he can enter and exit any universe. So Bhakti Charu Maharaj says this best when he explains about Lord Shiva. He says Lord Shiva is Krishna in touch with the material energy. That's all.
Yes.
So there's no difference between Lord Sadashiva and Shri Krishna except for that detail, which is that Lord Krishna never touches. Vibharti Durga, like Maya Devi is always like a shadow of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whereas Lord Shiva is touching that shadow personally. He's interacting with her. She's sitting on his lap. She's interacting with him personally. So he's in touch with her, right? Though he's not overcome by her, he's not bewildered by her, he's not deluded by her, but he's in touch with her regardless. So therefore, he is different only in that way.
Very nice. How wonderfully you explained. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. We got a comment from Sujata, Subhash, Prabhuji and Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Very crisp and practical takeaways. Thank you. So they are thanking you, Prabhuji, for your tips and practical takeaways.
Thank you very much. It's coming from Srila Prabhupada, everything.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna, Mate. Please accept my.
Wonderful, wonderful class, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. When you were singing the bhajan of Vaishnav, I remember the Marathi bhajan same way, like जे कारंजले गांजले त्यासी म्हणे जो आपुले. It's like, and it's reminded me Srila Prabhupada, like Srila Prabhupada is like the people in this material world, they were suffering so much. So he was having so much compassion for them, and that's why he came to US to distribute Krishna consciousness.
Yeah. About Prabhupada, there's that famous song by Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, right? Jadi Prabhupada na hoy to. That.
Yes, Prabhuji. If Prabhupada was not there, so what we would have been doing right now might be.
And the disciples of Srila Prabhupada also, because every time I meet a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, I tell them this honestly, and sometimes I tell them this repeatedly. So I tell them, Srila Prabhupada is the foremost preeminent acharya of these times for the next 10,000 years. But I must tell you one thing. If it wasn't for you, disciples of Srila Prabhupada, all of you, disciples of Srila Prabhupada, then Srila Prabhupada would have come and he would have gone, and none of us would be the wiser. We would not have understood anything that Srila Prabhupada brought if it wasn't for his disciples who helped to propagate his instructions in such a beautiful way. So in similar ways, every generation has that duty, just as the first generation of the devotees offered their life in service of Srila Prabhupada and brought it to the next generation. The next generation has a devotee to carry it forward to the next generation, to carry it forward to the next generation like that. And that is what we can do. Charida Khotare Kaho Krishna Upadesh.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Mother Shama, for the service opportunity as well. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So usually in any class, whenever I mention this husband-wife dynamics, there are millions of questions. But right now, nobody wants to speak because it's being recorded.
We have another comment from Srinivas Prabhu. Thank you so much for an enlightening class. Especially I liked about the Lord Shiva and Bhavani ideal relationship. So they have all gotten sublime. We are all sublime with the wonderful, the way you mentioned about the husband-wife relationship. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Devotees, do we have any questions? If not, then we can end the call. I think the class was so well
Just one more
understood.
note. Just one more note here. If anybody is close to Toronto, then you're invited to come to Toronto, especially this weekend and the Radhashtami weekend, because Vaisheshika Prabhu is here right now, and he's doing a regional Sankirtan conference starting tomorrow. And he's here for 8 days for the unprecedented time. Like normally he would come for 3 or 4 days and then leave. And so there's for me it was a tug of war in the morning whether I should go to the morning program at the temple or I should do this class. And after discussing with my wife, she said, no, you attend the program from the evening onwards and do your thing anyways. So it was so anyway, I'll be going for the rest of the next few days. I'll be at the temple attending all the as many programs as possible by Vaisheshika Prabhu. And after that, a whole bunch of disciples of Srila Prabhupada are descending into Toronto for the Radha Kirchur Gopinath Festival on Radhashtami weekend, where we celebrate 50 plus years of installation of Sri Radha Kirchur Gopinath here in Toronto. Can you imagine 50 plus years they've been here being served? and accepting all our service. Generations of devotees have come and gone already, right? So yeah, it's a beautiful festival. So if you're here, please don't miss it.
Very nice. I don't know if devotees are close to New York, they can
Toronto,
drive.
yes.
So
Yes.
that's a good place. I'm here in Prabhuji Midwest. Otherwise, I would have definitely come. But it's such a
Midwest, yes,
wonderful
Chicago.
opportunity. Do you have like, yes, Prabhu, do you have like live telecast on the
Those, yes,
YouTube?
all of Vaisheshika Prabhu's programs will be broadcast live,
There you go.
and also except some special events and Q&A sessions may not be broadcast live. Someone, and then the Radha Kishore Gopinath Festival will also be broadcast live on the ISKCON Toronto YouTube channel.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for sharing all the
Thank you.
details. And thank you for the brilliant class with such good tips. We are all very fortunate to have your association. Devotees, please unmute yourself and let's offer our obeisances at
Thank you
Prabhuji's
for your
service.
blessing. Hare Krishna.
Vancha
Vancha.
kalpatarubhasya
Vancha
kripa
kalpatarubhasya.
Namastanam pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Vaiष्णव की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की
Jai.
जय इस महाभागवत प्रभु जी की
Jai.
जय
Jai.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी
So much, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much.